Okay, salam and good evening all, and welcome to our meeting for fluid mechanics. BMMH2313. So today we are going to discuss for our assignment, which is pressure in pipe. So can I know what is the objective for our assignment today, guys?
Hello, my name is HARISHWAR. Hi. Okay, so here the objective is we have to perform an experiment and also a simulation to get a clear picture of this pressure in pipe experiment. Other than that, we also conducting this experiment to analyze the pressure variation in uh, pressure variation in the hose pipe. It's got a few pressure variation, so we have to analyze that first. And also the length with two different configuration. It's got a two different length configuration. And then the last one, our last objective is to report the findings in the appropriate approach. So that's all for the objective.
All
Then
right.
the next one is the equipment.
Okay, for the equipment, we will use 6 equipment to perform this experiment. First,
Okay.
3/5 mm diameter single connector. Second, 16 mm T connector. Third, 10 meter hose pipe. Fourth, 5/10 milliliter measurement cup or 10 liter measurement tank. 5 hose
Okay.
clip, and last is stopwatch.
All right.
Can we skip the stopwatch part, because I think instead of using the stopwatch, we just can use the phone stopwatch
Yeah,
to
The
yeah.
reduce
phone
our
or
cost.
the
We
smartwatch.
already
Yeah.
yes, the stopwatch.
All right, Haris, what would be our task to perform this assignment?
Okay, by by for our task, first I search for our location, but right now our location is still in pending because we need a large space to conduct the experiment, and the time for our experiment may be on Saturday or Sunday, depend on the weather or time for the members are free or not, and then for the for the task we will conduct according to the assignment fluid that is stated in the fluid assignment. For for example, we for the task one we will conduct to calculate the flow rate and also calculate the its velocity for it, and for but uh, but right now our task still in pending because we cannot find a good location to conduct the experiment right now. But all the equipment, as Addie stated, we are complete. And
Did you mean the location is to be informed later? The
yes,
location, but
yes,
I think the location of the assignment should be the nearest to the house. I think the rent house should be the suitable location.
that will be in consider.
Hmm.
Okay. I think, and for my part, I think that's all. I will give to HAZRIQ for the next step.
All right. So hello, assalamualaikum. I'm Hazri, and today I'm going to explain about the second task for our assignment today. So the second task is we compare the two different configuration of a water pipeline, which is one is a straight water hose configurations, and the second one is closed loop water hose configurations. So what I understand about this both two of different water configuration is both of them must have the same length. So it will be the comparison between apple to apple. Alright. Other than that, after we perform our experimental and we gain the result, so I think we must undergo the analysis or simulation phase, which we use the analysis application to determine the inlet and outlet pressure, to determine inlet velocity, also density and viscosity, lastly the Reynolds number. So we can compare the experimental and the simulation, which we can make our own finding and decide the experimental which is whether it is accurate or not. So other than that, I would like to know the equipment. As I mentioned, Haris just bought us water hose pipeline. How many meters, Haris? You bought it?
The house I bought is 5 meters.
Alright. And the others equipment?
And now
What else you get?
The famous I get is connector, bus clip, and stopwatch. Stopwatch we can use the product you said earlier. We can use the phone. But the equipment for 3.5mm single connector and measurement cup I give to Addie if he can find it, because my location still my hotbase store doesn't have this item.
Addie?
I will search the another two equipment later.
Alright.
To complete the equipment.
Alright, Addie. I hope you can find it as fast as possible.
Okay.
The connectors and the jug or cup for what is the
So,
size?
guys.
10 liters?
For the size, measurement 10 liters.
10 liters, alright. And Harishwar, I would like to ask you
Yeah.
about to find the Bernoulli equation principle. For our task,
Sorry?
is, I would like you to make some research or recap on our Bernoulli equation principle, because
Alright.
as it mentioned on the first task, we have to measure the flow rate, velocity or initial velocity, and maximum achievable water jet Z2 to calculate the maximum pressure in pipe.
Okay.
So, alright.
Okay,
So,
alright, noted.
Is everything clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we start our assignment.
Okay, so by this week we can conduct our experiment, right?
Alright. Okay. Just right after the assignment, right after the experiment, we can undergo our analysis to compare with simulation and the experimental. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any question, guys?
So far so good.
No.
Alright. So that means you all understand what our objective and what we have to achieve for this assignment, yeah?
Yep, understood.
Yes, we understand.
Alright, so if there is nothing else, so I think we can dismiss our meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you guys for spending your time with me, yeah?
Oh,
Right.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye and Assalamualaikum.
salam.
Alright. Assalamualaikum and good evening all. I'm HAZRIQ and today we are going to discuss our assignment for fluid mechanics. So this is our discussion after the experiments. So, Addie, can I know the activity during the experiments?
Okay, thank you for HAZRIQ. Assalamualaikum. My name is Addie. So on 27 March, we conducted the experiment entitled Pressure in Pipe. So the purpose of this experiment activity is to collect experimental data to analyze pressure variation in hose pipe with two different configuration. So we do the experiment in the public toilet at our residential area in Izora apartment Bukit Beruang.
Okay.
We take almost 2 hours from 12 o'clock at noon to set up the apparatus and conduct the experiment. All the data during experiment are recorded. So the calculation related to the assignment were discussed after conduct the experiment, and it will explain by Harish or HARISHWAR.
Alright. So I think HARISHWAR will be present the experimental calculation. HARISHWAR, we can't hear you.
So on the first meeting, or in the first meeting, you told to do some research on the Bernoulli. Okay, so Bernoulli considered to be a statement of conservation of energy for flowing fluids. So as a summary, smaller the area of pipe, faster the fluid speed and internal pressure decreases. So the calculation okay. So for the calculation, we first find out the flow rate. So they gave a table one to determine the pressure. The first one will be flow rate. Then the second one will be we have to find the velocity. Then for the third one, we have to find the maximum pressure. Meanwhile, the P2, they got the two pressures. So the first pressure will be a P1, then the second pressure is P2. So P2 we can assume as atmospheric pressure. So we have to find out for the P1 first. Okay, so the experimental calculation as a straight line, and also closed loop. So we calculate the time taken to fill up, or not a fill up, to some value to fill to fill up the beaker. We calculate the time. So by using the time we recorded, we calculate the flow rate and also velocity. Same goes to both straight line and also closed loop. The data comes well. So that's all from me. So I can pass it to Haris or HAZRIQ.
Alright, thank you, HARISHWAR. So Haris, I've been told that you conduct the CAD modeling for our two different configuration, which is straight line and closed loop, if I'm not mistaken. So how the progression?
Yes, thank you for it. I just for the design, and I just finished drawing for the two design, the straight line and the closed loop design. May I share the drawing with yours?
Yes.
Yours is this.
Right. Yes.
This is the first design for the straight line, for the straight loop.
Alright.
As you can see, this has five
Five different hole.
for the as the experiment, and yes, the next drawing is this is for the closed loop drawing.
With the same dimension.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
experiment. Okay.
Yes. Since it's the same, and for the closed loop is just like for this thread, we just bend it to closed loop. And after I finish this drawing, I will pass to HAZRIQ for the analysis using INSYS to complete task 2 of the experiment.
Alright, guys. So after we have gained the experimental calculation and the CAD drawing, so for the analysis phases, so I can compare the experimental and the analysis result. So might as well I share my analysis phases. So as you can see, now you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, this is analysis on the analysis. So, sorry me. Okay, so as you can see now, this is the analysis on the analysis. So it's not finished yet, but it will finish 1 or 2 days for the information that we need, such as pressure, velocity, or flow rate, using the analysis. So the progression is there, but it's not finished yet. But I will update to all of you once it's finished. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So just to remind you, right after we have finished all of these tasks, which is calculation, simulation, and the CAD modeling. So I would like to inform you that we have to present the result, all the findings of this assignment for fluid mechanics. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yes, that's okay.
Yes.
So if there are nothing to share, might as well we dismiss our meeting today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Thank you, guys.
All.
Welcome.
See you soon.